Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk about something that I know it's totally not budget related kind of, but it's been on my mind for a while, and it's why we're all so fed up with getting personal financial advice from experts who have actually never struggled with money. You know, the ones they got lucky with like real estate, but now they think they can spew their financial advice to us and look down on us. They've never had to choose between paying an electric bill and buying groceries. So let's talk about why this kind of advice often misses the mark and what we need instead. All right. So, first, let me tell you who I am. I'm Eva, and I am the founder of Fierce Rich Money. After 2 years of unemployment, I'm back in debt. Got out of debt before using my plan. I'm doing it again. Here we're not extreme. You'll never hear me telling you make your own toilet paper. No, make your own soap. I'm never going to tell you to like melt down like your old soap slivers to make a bigger bar. All right. I promise. All right. So let's talk about this. So here's the thing. There's a huge disconnect between the theories that these so-called experts preach and the reality that most of us live in. You know what? These people have never had to scrape together rent money or worry about how they're going to afford a car repair when the budget is already tight. You know what? They might know all the right financial strategies in theory, but they have no idea what it's like to actually live paycheck to paycheck. You know what? They've never been there. Um, you know, it does annoy me. So anyway, so thinking about it, like how many times have you read or heard advice that just doesn't apply to your situation? Like max out your 401k, invest in real estate, cut out your daily latte. Like, sure, these tips might work if I've got a six-figure salary, no debt, and plenty of disposable income. But for the rest of us, it's like they're speaking a different language. Look, I wish I could max out my 401k, but the reality is I can't. And I know it's important, so I do put some money into it. You know, one of the biggest problem is that they're like living in these ivory towers and they're lecturing us and judging us. So, anyway, so here's more of the problem. Advice from someone who graduated without student debt, who's only ever lived in that ivory tower that their parents own, borrowed money from mommy and daddy to buy their first rental property. You know what? That just isn't relatable to me. It's easy to tell someone to invest when they've never had to worry about bouncing a check or overdraft. It's easy to talk about building an emergency fund when you've never had to drain yours just to survive. Like, it's hard out there when you're not making enough money. These experts just don't understand the emotional toll that financial stress takes. Like, it is hard emotionally and mentally. They haven't lived through the anxiety of wondering how they're going to make ends meet and the guilt of not being able to give your kids everything they need, let alone everything they want. And because they haven't lived it, their advice comes off as tone deaf and condescending. What we need is practical, reliable advice. Again, like normal stuff. Yeah, advice from people who have been in the trenches, people who know what it's like to struggle and to make mistakes and to climb out of financial holes. We need advice that's grounded in reality, not theory, and that understands people are human and they're going to make mistakes. So instead of telling people to max out their retirement accounts, how about offering tips on how to, get a raise or find a side hustle that works with their schedule? instead of getting all preachy about cutting out a small luxury like a once a week Starbucks, why not talk about ways of lowering big recurring expenses like housing or insurance? How about acknowledging that sometimes survival is more important than saving 20% of your income? All right? Like, right? Am I right? Real world financial advice recognizes that everyone's situation is different and that sometimes you have to make trade offs. It's about, finding the balance of making progress, even if it's just one tiny step at a time. It's advice that understands that money management isn't just about the numbers, it is about people's lives, their goals, and their struggles. Again, it's more than just the numbers. Empathy is also the key when it comes to giving financial advice. The best advice comes from someone who's been there, who's been where you are, and has faced similar challenges. They can offer insights that are both practical and compassionate. You know, it's about understanding that sometimes life happens, unexpected expenses pop up, jobs are lost, health issues arise, and that these things can derail even the best laid financial plans. Trust me, you can have great savings and then the world shuts down and unemployment will only get you so far. And if you can't find a job because you're a woman over 50, you're going through your savings and you end up in debt. So I get it. Anyway, I think we all appreciate advice that comes from a place of understanding rather than judgment. And that's the other thing that pisses me off. It's one thing to tell someone what they should do with their money, but it's another thing to help them navigate their unique circumstances with kindness and support. And that's the kind of advice that actually makes a difference. You don't have to treat someone like they're an idiot or a child. You can be kind. So, where can you find financial advice that actually resonates with your situation? Look for voices that are grounded in real life, people who have faced similar struggles and have come out on the other side. There are plenty of personal finance blogs out there, YouTubers run by people who have been in the same boat as you and offer advice that's both realistic, practical, and actionable. All right. I actually have a video where I talk about like those good YouTubers. So I do recommend it because I do talk about the ones that I really like, and you should check that out. Anyway, also, you know what? Don't underestimate the power of community. Sometimes the best advice comes from other people who are going through the same stuff that you are. So I highly encourage you to connect with others, to share your experiences, to support one another without judgment. Look, we're all in this together. There's no one size fits all solution when it comes to money. All right. It is called personal finance for a reason. All right, so think about that. All right, so while these judgmental experts might sound legit, the advice that really matters comes from those who've walked the walk. So let's continue to seek them out. Let's share practical, empathetic, and financial advice that meets us where we are. All right, so that's my rant for today. And if you found this of value, I don't know if I meant it to be of value. I don't know. It's been a long day and I'm just pretty much ranting. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to let you go because I'm sure you're like, all right, she's a crazy person. But whatever. So, bye.